All right, so who are you and what are you known for?
Hi, I'm Angel. I think if I had to pick something, it would be Dogtown and Redgen. I
Hmm.
think the average player is likely to know me from Dogtown, and more mappers will know me from Redgen.
Very cool. Radgen is an amazing tool, by the way. I know that Jim make the original version, and then
Yes,
you've come in with more code.
I think it was called Jerk
Hmm.
in CSGO.
Interesting.
Uh, Jim's something something automated something something. I don't remember. It was a first
Right.
name. Then he branded it as Redgen in CS2 for the first version, and I joined the team at some point when he realized I know how VMAPs work because he was struggling with VMAPs.
Okay.
And over the course of a year, we basically ended up rewriting the whole app.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Um. So, when did you start making maps for games, and did it start with Counter Strike?
Maps, I think it was Counter Strike. I
Wow.
remember doing some scripting for other games I used to play,
Hmm.
but a couple years back, well, more like 7 to 8 years back, I got introduced to CSGO by IRL friends.
Hmm.
And we used to play these hide and seek maps all the time. And we played
Interesting.
them so much, we ran out of hiding spots. So I was like, wait, maybe I can learn mapping and I can add more hiding spots to these maps.
That's
And I did just that. And then I realized, wait, I actually like mapping.
That's so interesting, actually. That's such a funny way to start. I
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that.
I mean, to this day on my workshop, some of my most popular maps are hide and seek maps.
Oh wow, that's a really cool little tidbit. So I'm assuming when that carried over to CS2, that was just natural for you, that was gonna happen.
As in,
Like, as
sorry,
in, like
I
you making maps.
oh yeah, I was already making maps for CS:GO for quite some years. When
Hmm.
everything moved over to CS2, I was so happy because all of a sudden we have this modern engine with like modern tools, and my knowledge of ray tracing finally comes in useful in Hammer 2.
Very, very interesting. That's so wow. What a way to start. That's already like really cool. Um,
Thank you.
so uh, what is your favorite part of working in the Source 2 engine on CS?
Oh, definitely the lighting. I said
Yeah.
before the ray tracing. So Source 2, when it calculates lighting for levels, that's why it looks so good. It
Hmm.
actually does full ray tracing when it compiles the maps.
Right.
And as a mapper, you have live ray tracing preview in Hammer as you're working on maps, as you
Hmm.
know probably as well.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. I love doing lighting. Before I got into CS2 mapping, when CSGO moved over to Source 2, I used to do all kinds of stuff in Blender. I
Hmm.
was very used to path tracing. I wrote my own path tracer at some point. It's
Wow.
not very good, but so I was so happy that I could now map for Counter Strike and just do my lighting in path tracing like this. It was great.
That's wow. That's really cool. Dogtown, I will say, it has such interesting lighting. I think you
Thank
you
you.
you did a very, very good job.
Yeah, I loved doing lighting on that map. It was great.
It's I have so many questions about that map. I can't wait to talk about it. What would you say is your least favorite part of the map making process?
Layout and gameplay. I hate that.
Interesting. That's that's also very interesting with some questions I have. That's a That's not the answer I expected. I will say I love the way Dogtown is laid out. I think it's a really, really fun map. So I'm
That was all Jim's doing. Give that
really
all to Jim. Jim, not Jim Wood,
oh, a different
Jim
gym.
F. Kennedy. Different Jims. Yes, I
Okay.
work with two Jims. It's confusing.
Okay. Very interesting. Oh, the
he
plot
started the
thickens
project.
here.
He started the project on Dogtown and did all the base layout. I
Mhm.
joined the project. The map was still set at daytime. It was mostly a gray box.
Yeah,
That's when I
I
joined the
played the Grey
project.
Box. I remember.
Yeah, that's when I joined the project, and I was like, "No, dude, what are you doing? We have to make this sunset." So yeah,
Wow. Oh, no
he
way.
did the layout. He also hated it.
Okay.
We both like doing art more. Now for the next map we're gonna work on, we got someone else to do the layout for us. Very nice guy. He's great at it. Home
Oh,
flies.
interesting. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, wow. I'm like I do appreciate how concise you are. I'm a little like
I hope I'm not going too fast.
no, you I it's fine. Like you go whatever pace or whatever detail you think. I mean, this is gonna be a lot of footage of all these interviews, so I won't complain with a little less editing. But I mean, yes, say whatever whatever you think is relevant.
Mhm.
So I have it written here in the question. Like, is there any map you're currently working on? If you're not going to willing to share that, that's fine. What was the biggest hurdle working on Dogtown then? What took the most time?
Oh. Yeah, the thing with Dogtown was, I would say both Jim and I were quite good at just churning things out. It was more
Mm-hmm.
of like a treadmill work of just getting things done. But I think the most difficult part was probably nearing the end of it
Mm.
when we realized, oh, we need to optimize this. This doesn't run so well. And from a technical standpoint, I'm good at optimizing maps because
Right.
I would say I know how the engine works decently. But it was really difficult to optimize Dogtown because it's a pier. It's incredibly flat.
Yeah.
You can't really make the engine be like, okay, the player is now here. This part of the map is still from this other part. I'm not gonna render that. So we had to do all these weird things with like invisible blocks in the sky to block off areas
Oh,
where we knew players couldn't jump up and see that the other side of the map wasn't rendered anymore. Then we also had to spend like a week or something remaking some meshes that were too high poly. That
damn.
was like the most annoying part, I think.
Yeah, the art pass for me on maps has definitely been like I'm very impatient to sort of give you a background on this whole weird project that I'm doing completely out of my wheelhouse, right? Um,
Hmm.
way back when phase one of the map core contest happened, T2
Hmm.
Muir made the video ranking like the 50 or
Oh yeah.
100 qualifiers, right? And I thought that video was awesome, like so cool. And
Hmm.
really interesting. So I was like, you know what? I've got a
Yeah, he's
background in
good.
3D. He's so cool. I've been hanging out with him recently. It's really cool. Um, but I thought that video was really interesting and that it kind of sparked an interest for Hammer in me because I have a
Hmm.
background in 3D. I was a little apprehensive, but I'm
Oh,
like,
cool.
I kind of know what I'm doing. And with that said, Hammer is so user friendly for people that know 3D.
Yeah.
Um,
So Hammer is like one of the best engine tools you can have, honestly.
it's insane. I like it, and I'm happy it's a game I really like playing as well. Um,
Hmm.
but so yeah, that kind of sparked my interest, and I started working on this map called DE Discovery, which is not on my
Ooh,
workshop, if
nice.
you'll notice, because I
Okay.
accidentally deleted the map file.
Oh
But
no.
also, it was very much baby's first map. Like, it had a good idea. Like, everyone I've said the concept to thinks it's a great idea, but I simply
Hmm.
wasn't ready. Right, the
Hmm.
map was set in a science museum. A site would
Ooh.
have been set in, you know, the like walk through the human body exhibits,
Oh
like,
yes.
so A site would have been the heart. With
Oh, dude. So if you made that for the Mapcore contest, for the exotic places contest,
uh-huh.
that probably would have won. Like if you
Probably
could get it to like a really high quality standard, that sounds insane.
it would have been really interesting, and we were thinking that B site would be maybe solar system themed or like archaeology, or you know, as a science museum there's a lot of options. um Probably space themed on one half and like biology
Hmm.
themed on the other. But
Oh, that sounds awesome.
it was a cool idea, and I've got like sketches and I have a couple clips of the production laying around, but it didn't get very
Hmm.
far. And I just, like I said, I didn't know that the engine. I literally didn't know that the grid system was a thing. Um, so after that, I was like, I had prior commitments, so I gave that a break. Um, Sort of stopped playing CS2 for a little while,
Hmm.
and then uh, phase two or phase three of the map core contest happened, and Team Muir made another video, and I watched that one, and I was like, God damn it! And this was in like April. I was like, God damn it! I'm going to get back in Hammer now. So that's what I did, and like I
I like the
remember,
determination.
and it was kind of desperation at that point because I was working on a commissioned animation project, and it had taken a lot more time than it should have.
The classic.
Yeah. So I was stressed, and I was very, very tired of even thinking about animation at the time. So I was like up for like a day, and it was like 2 a.m. and I'm like tweaking at my desk. Like, I need to do something with my time. I need to get away from animation. So I got in Photoshop and I drew the first map layout of Concave.
Oh, nice.
And then iterated it with my friends a bit. Got it up and running in Hammer in not too long. Uploaded it to the workshop. A few people tried it, and well, from here basically is where I'll save the rest of the story mostly because that's what the whole video is about. But it's been a couple months now, and I do feel that confidence coming in. But I realized working on Concave, like, oh, I am really not liking the idea of, the map is fun and playable and I enjoy it, but I still have to go through and remake everything. That stressed me out a lot.
That's why usually people work in teams and someone does the art, someone does the layout.
And maybe that will be what this project ends up becoming, because I mean, there's no stipulation in my script that it has to be all me. It's just that it has to like be a map that I made. Not necessarily that I made on my own.
Of many Counter-Strike maps that were made, good Counter-Strike maps, like to a certain level of quality, that were made by a single person.
Well,
it's really hard to work on everything by yourself.
Yeah, the one good thing about picking up as doing these interviews as like I think Razzle Dazzle and Chimone are both like vaguely interested in at least helping me a lot. So that's like, it's kind of this weird
that's nice.
snowballing situation that's happened, and just like hanging out with people in the Mapping server as well has been really, really helpful in the last couple weeks.
I definitely recommend MapCore. I think if you need any questions answered or have any need for feedback, we also run playtests in MapCore.
Nice. I got to join another Discord server. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's where the contest happened, the exotic places contest.
And I watched that like a hawk. Like, I was very tuned into that, and I have some questions about that later. But we'll get moving on then. So how long did Dogtown take to make?
Roughly a year.
Right. That seems to be a common thing, regardless of the map size. Like, talking to Chimone, I know that Flick took around a year. Like, Razzle Dazzle's map Dumbo has been in production for around a year and isn't done. So, okay. It's kind of scary and daunting to hear that common answer.
I think I'm not trying to say people are lazy or people don't work hard. I think a part of that is a year is kind of the maximum of how long someone can work on a map and not go insane. Like, I think you could definitely finish one of these maps faster if you just went. But you usually don't work on it constantly.
Nah.
It's a side project. And I think a year is when a lot of people towards the end of it just start working on it to finish it and get it out so they're done with it.
Right. Huh. Okay, now we'll get into some slightly opinionated questions here. What's a common map making like pitfall or trope or layout pitfall that you really don't like or will dampen your enjoyment of a map?
Yeah, see, because what I said earlier, I don't like doing layout. I'm not gonna give you a very satisfying or good answer here.
Okay.
But I think I can scurry around the question and talk about art again.
Okay, yeah, please.
Dusty maps.
Right.
This is a trope around Counter-Strike maps that everything has like a dusty feel to it. It either looks like Dust 2 or Mirage. That has changed a lot with CS2, especially with the contest in MapCore. That we got a lot of maps set in very interesting places, but in CSGO especially, a lot of people used to default to the Dust 2 Mirage look.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of a lost cause because like there's a reason those maps are in the game, and like we don't We don't need more. Like Mirage and Dust 2 are perfectly
It's like
fine.
how a lot of creatures, if left to evolve long enough, kind of turn back to crab. The average Counter-Strike map will turn back to Dust 2.
That's a really interesting analogy. Wow. Is that I've got to look that up. Is that true?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
There's a lot of crab-looking
Okay.
things that didn't actually evolve from crabs.
Huh. That's really interesting.
Apparently, it's a very stable body plan.
Um. So for people looking to get into Hammer, or mapping in general, what would be your advice to someone wanting to get started, like mindset or workflow or just Hammer itself?
Tutorials.
Yeah.
Definitely Eagle 1 has a really good CS2 beginner tutorials
Uh-huh.
course. Definitely watch that first at like a minimum. It's gonna explain everything perfectly. Like
Yeah.
how you even install a hammer, how you launch it, what you should do as a beginner. It's gonna teach you some very good workflow tips.
I
After that,
think
I'd say probably just join a mapping Discord and just ask questions.
that one has been that's what I've kind of been doing as of late. Like I mean, as you know, I've been in the Radgen server longer than I've been in Eagle One or Mapping
Oh
Core.
yeah.
Haven't even been in Map Core. Like I've been in Radgen for a little while, and I am one to ask questions. So I definitely recommend it to anyone listening. It is essential. You like, despite the fact that I'm making this video, like you can't do it on your own. Never.
hmm Yeah,
Um.
especially since Valve doesn't. So we have the VDC, which stands for the Valve Developer Community.
Right.
Valve didn't really give us a lot of articles for Source 2 on there. It's all community driven.
Mm,
The stuff that's on there isn't so good to begin with because it's
right.
mainly for Source 1. There's a lot of like mixing going on. So it is really kind of difficult to find this information by yourself, I'd
Yeah.
say.
Like I've noticed in the, because originally what I wanted to do before making maps was I considered working with, like I have a lot of artist friends, I considered making skins instead, but the
Ah,
skin documentation is dog shit. It's
oh
so
yeah.
bad.
I mean, I haven't looked into it for CS2. I think the one Valve provides you for CS2, like the starter thing, is quite good. We also got a
I don't know if they
new.
updated it.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we got a new tool for CS2 for making skins, which is really nice.
Really? Oh, I'm gonna have to look into this, I think. Maybe another time, but that's good to know. Okay. That's good to know. This is a little offshoot question for you. Uh Obviously you can save as much detail as you need to, but what is it like having a map in the game?
Oh, it's great. So the best thing to me about getting Dogtown in the game is all of a sudden you actually get like proper playtesting from people. Like, how do I explain this? It gets exposed to so many people playing it, you start to get feedback even on the very statistically rare things.
Mm,
Like we found a lot of weird gameplay things or like weird bugs just due to the sheer amount of people playing it, which
mm.
actually is not that much. I think Dogtown currently is the least played map,
Huh.
but even then, it still gets 300 like players a day or something, so it's not that bad. Yeah,
That's
the best is just getting like mass feedback and people actually playing it.
hmm. And what is the like what is the process of like, because this wasn't made as part of a contest. You made this map, right? There was
Yeah.
This is right. Um so you didn't really like, it's different than having the eyes on you like with the map core contest, which I would love to talk to you about. But
Oh yeah.
the what yeah, what's the process? Is it just like, do you get a random email just like, hey, we're putting your map in the game for a couple months?
Yes, basically.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
that's it.
And that must have been a nice day.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
so we were kind of expecting it in a way
Interesting. Yeah.
because a lot of people were like, no way, Dogtown doesn't make it. No way. They were like
True.
inflating our egos. It was kind of funny. We weren't sure it was gonna make it.
Right. I don't
But
think
we knew
many are.
about roughly when Valve was gonna do the next rotation, because the
Mhm.
previous rotation had been going for a while already. So I
Mhm.
remember Jim and I for a while were like checking our emails daily, like, is it gonna come today? Is it gonna come today? Is it gonna come today?
So do you
And one
find
day I
out on the
remember,
day?
I mean, you get the email
Right.
maybe a few weeks before they put it in the
Okay.
game, I
Right.
think.
Okay.
I remember one morning waking up, seeing an email, and it was the email.
That's
It was great.
that
It's
does
a great
sound really
feeling.
cool. And how is it was it must have been like a really funny coincidence for you and Jim Wood to both get in the game at the
Oh
same
yeah,
time. That must have been
yeah.
a
Both
funny.
of the gyms got maps in the game at the same time.
That's so crazy. And
Yeah, the map. It's even crazier for them because the map is old. Like it was made a while back for CS:GO. It never got in. Now
mm,
they remade it for CS2 and now it got in. It's crazy story, honestly.
it is. It's been really cool to watch, and also I just think it's. I was under the impression that it was I didn't realize that there was a gym working on Dogtown. Firstly, but I also it's funny
Yeah, I
that it's a
don't like
different
that.
gym.
So it has happened a lot that Jim doesn't get as much attention as me for
Mm-hmm.
some reason. He started the project, like Jim F. Kennedy.
Right.
He came up with the idea of Dogtown. He did all of the layout and all of the base art. I just did lighting, technical stuff, and a
Okay.
bit of detailing.
All
It's
right.
mainly his map.
Maybe it would be in my interest to chat with him as well
Yeah,
if that's happened.
I really recommend also chatting with him. I think you
Is
would
he
get a
in
lot of
the is he in the Mapcore server?
yes,
Okay, then I will join and I'll send him a message as well. Um,
awesome.
so transitioning over to talk about the Mapcore contest, I don't know how tuned in you were on that. Um, what do you think about the outcome?
I think out of all of the maps that were made,
Mm-hmm.
like 30 of them could have easily won.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
the quality bar and the quality level that people reached in this contest was insane. The
Yeah,
amount of submissions as well. I think the first stage had like 300 submissions.
yeah, and like more than half of those didn't make it past Grey Box in
It
the end.
was it was an insane contest. I think the people running it took at least like a decade off of their lifespan because it was so stressful.
I I was talking to Chimonahihi about this earlier, and when I asked him, we sort of got onto this topic of like, I think the reason that so many people are mad about Grail, despite the fact that Grail is like a very good map in terms of like its art, and it's like it is a brave map to put in front of Counter Strike players because you know that they can be very very stringent
Oh yeah.
and rude. But I think the thing is like a lot of people were very closed off because their knowledge of Mapcore is the last time Mapcore did a contest, Anubis won, and now we have Anubis forever, right? So I think people were more stunned by the fact that Grail was the least Anubis thing that could have possibly won.
Yeah, I guess
And I see where
so.
they're coming from, but
I like Grail personally. I think it looks neat.
I think it looks really neat too. I was very, very behind Grail throughout the whole Greybox process. There are some layout changes they made that I'm not the fondest of, but it's still like a map that I can play.
I think Grail was my number one test map for Regen because I
Wow.
was working on the Regen 3.0 version, which had the
Mm-hmm.
new renderer the whole time the contest was happening, and I kept using people's maps as tests
Oh,
because they
that's
would
so
be like,
cool.
they would just. It was great because it was basically like free software testing because they were working so fast on these maps to meet the deadline. You would get a lot of weird things in them, and I would be like, how did this even happen? Great, now I have to support this in Regen. But it was great testing. So I ended up using a lot of them for testing. I think I still have like a early gray box version of Grail on my system somewhere.
That's so cool. Um, Thank you. So could I possibly get your opinion on my three most recent map attempts?
Sure.
If you want, you could download them and screen share if you haven't already. That would be really cool.
I'm sorry to deny that,
Okay,
but
that's fair
my
enough.
internet literally cannot handle that.
No, okay. Have you seen them?
I looked through them a bit earlier. I
Okay.
like them.
Mm-hmm.
I see you're using Regen for the radars. Very good,
I
very good.
am. I know that we actually, it's a quick side thing. I know that you're no one knows the answer to this. Are we investigating why it bit crushes the hell out of the radar? Like, are we ever
What,
gonna find
Regen?
out? Yeah, or why the game low reses the radar so
Oh,
bad?
yeah, I think the game renders the radar image at a fixed resolution, like 512, I think.
That's silly.
Yeah, you just don't need that much detail in them, actually. It's better if you, like, a Ragen can render them with detail.
Yeah,
Try not to. Like, the
yeah.
less detail, it's actually like a skill, knowing how
Hmm.
to make a readable radar, I think. Because if you look at Valve radars, they look great
True.
even at that low resolution.
True. I just think maybe I notice it more because they're not familiar radars that I've played 1,000 times. That
Yeah,
might be
that's also a
why.
thing.
Huh.
Right, so about your
Yeah.
maps,
Uh
any order I should go through them?
you would want to do Concave and then Ecstasy and then Hay Fever. And I just updated Hay Fever
Concave.
today, so
Alright. Ooh, Concave looks interesting. It gives me honestly Grail vibes. Because
fair
I'm
enough.
seeing the castle walls.
So for the story context of this map, it takes place in a city in Mexico. I forget the name of it. It was like vaguely inspired. I didn't want to give it a name, but it's vaguely inspired by a specific city in Mexico, and it was set during Cinco de Mayo celebrations. Before a terrorist attack happens.
Of course.
So the bomb sites are the market in the lower part and the monument in the upper part, and the name obviously comes from the general shape of the layout. Like the A side is very deep, and then the rest of it all builds outwards and upwards. And all the
I like
ramps
the
are supposed to be
general.
stairs.
So I'm
But
looking at the radar right now. I like
mm-hmm,
the general shape of it. I
mm-hmm,
think the connectors don't have the issue that I see a lot of early map layouts have, where they're either too skinny and way too many of them, or they're just too big and boxy.
mm,
This has some interesting shapes and interesting angles. And I'm looking at the images here. You got a lot of mileage out of just shapes and colors for selling the art of this, and like what vibe you wanted to have.
that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I would have to play this to know how it
Mm.
actually feels to play, but it looks good so far from what I'm seeing.
Very nice. I had a good time playtesting it with like friends. I don't have enough friends to do 5v5 tests, and this is before I knew about mapping and stuff. But even testing with level 5 bots, like obviously they're not the smartest, but at least they know how to kill you when they
Yeah,
see you.
that's
Um,
like the first thing
no.
you should do when you make a gray box before you even get people for a playtest. Bots can eliminate a lot of stupid stuff.
Yeah, because even they will play like weird angles sometimes. I think bots are
Hmm.
actually really good at finding hiding spots. I think they're
Yes.
better at that than shooting. But it's yeah, it played okay. There are some sight lines that are a bit of a mess, and it's I wanted it to be interesting. I didn't want to make something boring. I knew that much. Um,
Hmm.
and like I said, that was a product of like a borderline manic episode of just coming up with a map idea on the fly. And I
For
remember I
just
uploaded it to the go on.
for just coming up with this on the fly, it's pretty good.
Thank you. I had obviously you can probably tell that I had watched the few surviving clips of Razzle Dazzle's map workshop where he I don't know if you've seen them, but he um has a very specific style, and I tried to follow that as well. As it actually is built around the four square, and then I just changed the one thing, which is putting the site in mid. And it did play really interesting. When I uploaded it to the workshop, I got some really good feedback from a guy. I think his name was Comclex on Steam, and he was basically like, you just got to make some of these like paths a little, you got to make some sneaky paths, because right now like committing to any push is just a bit long. And I was like, fair enough. So hit the drawing board again, and it was at the point where I was like getting to, oh, do I need to do another art pass of this? Where I was like, I don't know, I think I should just do another map and maybe try and not use vertex snapping so much.
Oh yeah, you made this without knowing the grid is a thing.
I bought everything.
That's crazy to me.
I also just went through a bit of a stupid process with it because I was still like really early to Hammer. So what I did is I had the map layout drawn. I made the map layout in Blender, and I put the elevations to where I thought would be right, and then put that into an FBX and imported that into Hammer and was using that as my scale reference instead of just using an image like a normal person, which added a whole layer of like confusion. It's probably why the map geometry is a little janky, but overall it played okay. But a
lot of things make sense now.
But Razzle Dazzle put it best. He said, this layout's cool, but you need to do it from scratch if you want to make this map real. And I was like, that seems fair.
I'm looking right now at the radar again, and there's this weird like bit to the top right, which I'm like,
oh, you're talking about the shops, right? Wait, let me real quick, I'll show you the second. I'll show you both actually. Let me see.
It feels like a weird growth on the map.
Where is it? So the first draft of the concave map looked like this, and the second draft of the concave map
looks very abstract.
Looked like this. And
this has the thing I was talking about earlier, where it's like a bunch of chambers kind of connected by skinny corridors. Yeah, that doesn't give good gameplay because you kind of just end up running around skinny corridors the whole time.
Yeah, and getting in Hammer definitely helped with that. Just making sense of it. But yeah, after that, the yellow building at T-Spawn, I was walking around there or looking around there like, oh, okay, so I got to remake this again. And I was like, I don't want to. I should do something in a city that I know, which is how we got to DE Ecstasy. So if you get that open, we can talk about that one.
The radar of this looks insane.
So Ecstasy is set in London. A Site is a nightclub called A Sight to Behold.
Oh wow! Okay, I'm looking at it right now. I like how much of this you made out of hammer meshes already.
Yeah, you can tell I figured out what the grid was. And B Site is a bookstore called Brilliant Books. It's basically Waterstones. And I just wanted to be like, I'm British, I've been to London, I know like vaguely how the architecture works, and it was more trying to scale down without making the map smaller in the way of like Concave is like half of a town, like it's a lot of stuff. And some places are like that, very condensed, but I thought it would be smarter to just have like 3 or 4 central, like easily nameable areas. Like you've got the subway station in T-Spawn, you've got the bookstore, you've got the nightclub, and there's a kebab shop at CT Spawn. That's it. That's all of the important buildings. It just crowded my mind a bit less. And I worked on this map for like I think 2 weeks. Like on and off. I had the grey box down in like a day.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I do have the benefit of a lot of like I said, Hammer is so user friendly, and if you know 3D, it's even more user friendly. So like I can bang out a grey box in no time. But yeah, it got to the point of like reapproaching B site. I started in Hammer making a second go around, and it was okay. There were some interesting like good changes, um, but then I went on holiday, and while I was away, it was on my mind like I'm not gonna finish this map either. And that's not a bad thing because I think, and you'll see with Hay Fever, my current approach is to get as far forward as I can in the process, and when I feel myself stalling, I kind of like want to restart to make sure I'm able to do that process reliably. Because I don't want like one good map of mine to be a fluke.
Yeah,
If I make a good
so
map, I want to keep being able to do that.
do be careful because something you can get stuck in is never finishing anything and just
Mm-hmm.
always remaking and remaking and remaking and remaking.
Mm.
But there's only so much you can remake without finishing something and actually putting it out there and learning from that. At some point, you do need to just finish something and be like, I have made this.
Yeah, I do definitely agree with that. It's like more like I think where I'm at is like I would not be focusing on remaking one map. I'm okay with iterating a lot of ideas. Um, that is it's scary, but not as scary sometimes as like going through the art pass. But um, yeah, I don't really know where I'm going. It's just ecstasy.
No,
I like ecstasy. I think it's a cool map.
I think what you've done so far is good.
Hmm.
Because from looking at these maps, it looks like you've actually learned something each time you made something new. So I would say that's good.
Well, I don't know how much you have to say about ecstasy. But you'll see with Hammer
Ecstasy.
that keeps being true.
So
Not
with
Hammer.
Ecstasy, from looking at the radar, I
Hmm.
don't think he would play good. I'm
Hmm.
sorry to say
That's
that.
fair enough.
But I like how far you get with getting the vibe of a map across just with like mesh working hammer and stuff like that. I think that's quite important in a gray box usually to actually block out the art direction of a map.
Hmm.
Because what some people get stuck doing is you make a gray box that is just shapes and completely devoid from reality.
Yeah.
Then they try to add like art on top of that, but that usually doesn't work because influences gameplay and the gameplay influences the art. So the way you're going about it is like the ideal way to do it, I think.
Nice. And then yeah, lastly, I'd love you to look at Hay Fever. I updated it today. After
Yes.
some feedback I got from Team Yor and Razzle Dazzle, they were hugely helpful.
Ooh,
Um,
sunset. I like it already. Oh, hey, the radar of this one looks simpler. I like that already. Okay. So it's like in a farm field of
hmm.
sorts. Man, these farmers sure love stacking these hay
They do.
bales.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a hay bale like farm festival type thing. So it's like a hay bale maze.
Oh, this is cool. I like it. And I love how easily you can be like you can make the kind of cover that Counter-Strike players want, which is just a block,
Hmm.
and actually justify it as it's just a hay bale.
Yeah, that has been really helpful with detailing this map. I think it was a good call. And like I said before we started recording, this one was a product of the sketch exercises. In specific, my
Mhm.
partner drew the map or drew the bomb site shape, and they wrote the word sneeze on my page. And at the time, we were still on holiday, and I had awful hay fever. So from there,
Oh,
that's just I was
perfect.
like, well, hay makes me sneeze, so a hay bale map. It just and also hay fever is an awesome name for a map. So
That is a
it
good
just
name.
it all just kind of worked together, and it's been coming together really nice.
Honestly, this you definitely did improve like with each map you tried to make, because this one is the best so far.
Yeah. I definitely agree. Like during, and it's been, I think this is going to be the most interesting part of the video because this feedback has, like, the feedback from the interviews is going to like basically be the end of the video. It's like, for example, in the original version, the barn was not there. It was like this weird like paperclip shape of just hay bales. And Timur was like, "This sucks." He said it very nicely, but it basically boiled down to, "This part sucks. It's not interesting as a player to be in this place. Like, I don't feel like I'm going anywhere." And also, callouts will be awful. And I was like, "That's really true."
Yeah.
So I was
Hey,
thinking,
hey,
like,
what are you? Hay bale.
he's at the hay bale. Oh, thanks. And he also was just some like little. He would just little things. He was like, you need to just make some areas, and also just a little bit of elevation because originally it was all flat.
Oh yeah, we had that issue with Dogtown.
Yeah. And Dogtown does a lot with very little elevation, I should say. Like that, just a little
We
bit of
tried our
raised.
best.
Yeah, and I think you did a good job. I personally, and I'm gonna be honest with Jim when I speak to him as well. I prefer Dogtown over Brewery. I have not had a single fun match on Brewery.
I
That's
like Brewery as well. I think they have very different kinds of gameplay.
They definitely do, and I think maybe I'm just more geared to the Dogtown type. I think
But I
Brewery, it makes
appreciate
my
it,
soul
thank you.
hurt. But after that, I was talking to Razzle Dazzle the next day, and he was like, "Right, so Timur is right with all these things, but he doesn't have any ideas on execution. So maybe put a stable in this part, and put a barn here, and maybe have some stairs and like a window that you can look out onto site." And yeah, I mean, the rest is history.
Can I say that I'm so glad you actually got good feedback on layout from other people? Because I'm not good at this stuff. You're not getting much useful from
No,
me.
I definitely am coming to you more from an art perspective. So,
Good, good.
do you have any suggestions on where I could bring this next in terms of the art pass? Like, any suggestions on how to make it just extra special?
Well, first of all, I would do more playtesting. Like,
Mm-hmm.
really make sure you have your layout locked in, make
Yeah,
sure it plays well, because you don't want to art things and then be like, oh, this is flawed, it has to change,
true.
and you keep having to tear down the art. I think what you could do is gather up a bunch of references
Mm-hmm.
of what this actually is,
True.
and then I would say it's just a matter of actually sketching out the stuff. You can make little test maps of assets once you make the assets. It's kind of just a lot of work making the assets, making the textures for the Hailbills, the models, I guess.
Yeah. I think making the hay bales look like actually good is definitely going to be one of
Yeah,
the biggest
like
challenges.
from what I'm looking at, this a good skybox. I mean, you have a interesting skybox already. Is this like a HDRI or something?
It's in the game. It's one of
It's in the
them.
game. Okay.
It's just I put a tint on it to
I
make it
see
more
this
orange.
this blue tractor that would
Hmm.
also, if you could make that like a custom model, it would be a really good hero prop.
Okay, hero prop. Is that just like
Here,
a yeah?
so a hero prop is usually you will see on the sides of maps.
Mm-hmm.
There is gonna be like something that actually is around or something that stands out.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually called a hero prop, and
Okay.
it's a model or a piece of architecture that you usually put the most time and detail into
Mm-hmm.
to really stand out.
Okay,
And to me, it seems like this tractor could be that. Like people could even use this as a call out, honestly.
well. You can walk on the tractor. That's like part of the map design.
Oh,
So
perfect.
and I tried my best to balance the lighting with the like that. It is a weird off angle being on the tractor,
Mm.
but if you're standing on the hood of the tractor, your shadow gets cast on the floor, and people can see that
Ah, nice.
from the
I like that.
sneaky sight window. So I tried my best to balance the lighting with the
Yeah.
fun angles, and
So
I think I'm gonna play
otherwise,
test it tomorrow. Honestly,
nice. Otherwise, what I can tell you is everything looks very samey right now. Everything is very
hmm
uniformly colored. It's very
yes,
easy for the eye to get lost. the way you could break this up is maybe just, I mean, more random objects. So not random, just objects you would be expected to find here.
Hmm.
You could use tarps
Hmm.
across the hay bales to try to
Yes.
get some more contrast going on.
Yeah,
There's
I
a lot
was
of things
thinking
you could
about
do
that,
here.
looking at reference. It's like because some hay bales do have like tops around them and stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Great. That's very helpful. Thank you.
No problem.
If you'd like, we can also quickly go over some of the sketches. I'd love to get your top three because
Oh,
it's been
sure.
very interesting hearing everyone's top three.
Let me try to find those.
Yeah,
I think I got them.
they should be numbered in order, like 1 map, 2 map, 3 map, 4 map. So
Let's see. Can I download this, Google, please? Didn't Google Drive used to give you like previews for the images? It doesn't anymore for some reason.
doesn't it? Damn, your internet isn't great. Or is it like
Yeah,
is it the list
yeah,
view? Is it just
it's
listing the
fine.
names?
I'm download I'm
Okay.
downloading it now slowly. I hate Austrian internet with a passion. Almost there. Come on. Alright, it's done. Let's see. 1 map, 2 map, 3 map.
Hmm.
Sneeze.
Yeah, so that's the original sketch for Hay Fever, and you can sort of see the things in the layout that changed for the better.
Yes. It has the corridor syndrome, definitely.
Mhm.
But this is how most people start out making layouts. Because I think that's just how you think of a Counter-Strike map. It's
Yeah.
just some zones where you fight and then things in between them.
Hmm.
2 map. This would be what was the name of it? Ecstasy. Oh no.
No, the rest of these are
Cave?
not anything. They're just
Oh, I was
sketches.
trying to figure
Right.
out.
Okay. So 2 map, the handicap that was given. These were all in the same day, just for fun. Like when I sketched Hay Fever, I didn't know I was gonna make that in Hammer until I looked at it again, and I was like, damn, that's actually kind of cool. So 2 map. I drew the bomb site shape, and my partner drew. Do you see the little corridor right above the bomb site with the squiggly line through it? They drew that shape and were like, "Don't erase that. Make the map around that." And I was like, "Okay, bet." And this is what came out of it.
I like this one. I think I like how compact it is.
Mhm.
It seems like all the paths play into each other quite well.
Mhm.
If I'm reading this right, there's quite some elevation as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
It looks like you could get some interesting fights here in some of these paths trying to contest the site.
Hmm. That's it's
Go for the next
growing
one
on
now.
me. I really didn't like it when I drew it.
Oh,
But hearing all the feedback has been interesting.
3 map. Oh, this is this like a 4-dimensional map?
um No,
Oh,
definitely
okay, that
not.
goes under. I see.
So my partner drew the entire outline shape of this map, and then I filled in the gaps. So everything that isn't the outline is me.
I like this way of trying to make layouts.
It's really interesting as well because my partner doesn't play Counter-Strike, only watches me play Counter-Strike. So they're approaching it from just a completely different angle. That has been it's really fresh and fun to work with. Sometimes a bit stressful, but
Yeah, honestly, I'm having a really hard time trying to understand this one.
Yeah, it is. It,
It's
it, it is
quite
certainly interesting.
abstract, I'd say.
Yeah, the path, the like most direct path is supposed to be a bridge, and then the rest is just like a tunnel. So it's like a raise of elevation and then a lowering again. But yeah, I don't
It
know.
feels a bit too simplistic. Like I
Yeah,
feel
there's no
like,
flanks.
yeah, this would basically just be rushing and aim dueling.
Hmm.
Right, on to the next one. Um,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, no, it's okay.
It feels like they get more and more abstract.
Yeah.
It I'm expecting now in like 2 images, it's just gonna be like a Dali painting.
So this one was also bomb site shape by my partner, and the big. They did a lot of this one actually. They drew the like big dark shape in the middle, the bomb site, and the outline. They really like handed me my ass with this one basically, and we're just like, I don't
You
know, make
know,
it pass.
this wouldn't be a. I don't think this would be a good wingman map. I think
Mm-hmm.
this would be a good 1v1 map
Mm. I think so
because
too.
it's
Yeah.
basically a single arena with a lot of cover. It looks like it would be fun to just do 1v1 around this.
I think so too. That's actually. I think sometimes in my brain I forget that it doesn't have to be a wingman map or a diffusal map. Like there are other ones. Like one of the best things Razzle said to me about Ecstasy was like he thinks that would be an excellent deathmatch map or a
Oh yeah.
10v10 map, and I can
Oh,
definitely see that.
actually, that's true. Now I see it. Right, I'll go to the fifth one.
Okay, I promise they're a little less abstract after this one.
I think this one is very similar to the previous one. It's just a shape with cover.
Mm-hmm.
The bomb site has an interesting shape.
Yeah, I think it would be like an Inferno type situation or like a weird fountain or something.
Mm-hmm. That was literally where my mind went. Well, apart from that, I don't have much else to say. It's like the last one.
Mm-hmm.
6. Oh, but this one's more structured again.
Yeah, it's
I like the
definitely a rush
staircase.
map.
I like the staircases from T-Spawn.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I'm really fond of them.
I think this one would have rounds that last like 10 seconds.
Yeah, a
You
little
would
bit.
probably spend more time in buy time than fight time. Because I think players would see each other very fast.
Mm,
Especially
yeah,
from the right side. It's instant almost.
yeah. I could definitely use some tweaks, but I don't think it's the worst. Like,
I think so far my favorite is 2.
okay,
Okay, I'm gonna go to 7.
and then 7 has no handicaps at all. This was just off the dome.
Oh, this is interesting. I like this. It
My
feels a
only
bit
problem, my only
complicated.
problem is it
So
looks like a dick. Um, that was like my
I don't see it.
the original I had made some little changes, but the CT spawn and the A site areas just kind of to me looks just a bit like a dick. Like the whole outline.
Very, very malformed one.
Yes. Maybe with like some bullet holes in it, but
Oh
still
god. Jesus Christ, man.
but overall I think this is one of my favorites.
It's very geometric. It feels like a jigsaw almost.
Mm.
On the side, there's these lines connecting these
Yes.
pillars. What is that?
Windows or arches, I'm not sure.
Ah, okay.
I think
It feels
windows.
almost like a mirage sort of site.
Mm. Yeah, like a B side mirage.
There's this interesting pillars going from city.
Yeah, pillars, or I think they were plant pots I was thinking at the time, like a palm tree planters.
I feel like that would annoy me so much trying to play around those.
It probably would be, yeah. But I also don't. I think realistically, you'd only be playing around the two nearest the site.
Yeah, but then why have them?
True. Good point. That's a good point.
The cover higher up the map seems interesting.
Mm,
I think it's a
okay.
bit narrow in the middle with those two shapes, but obviously I can't guess too much from this. I would need to see it done in Hammer. Overall, this one's more interesting. Like I can tell
I actually
you didn't
did
have
this
any
one in Hammer.
handicaps for this one. Oh,
I
Finestra.
just yeah, let me load it up. The only thing about it was that what the hell? I just tried to hello? My CS is tweaking. The only reason I sort of stopped working on it was I just had no idea what the theming would be. I was absolutely clueless.
Oh yeah,
And someone else on the workshop has updated their map, so I need to wait for that to download before I can launch the game.
wonderful.
What's while we wait for this, what's your favorite like map pool map? What's the go-to for you?
In the current map pool,
Mm-hmm.
Valve maps included or just community maps?
Valve specifically. Like, what's your favorite like in-game map?
I'll probably be crucified for this, but Inferno.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know, I just like it. Even though there is the stupid safe meta. But
yeah.
I basically never play Counter-Strike nowadays in Premiere. We just do 10 mans.
Mm.
For 10 mans, Inferno is really fun.
Is that just like where you know everyone already?
Yeah, you do
like
5v5 with friends.
yeah, I think that a lot of the reason that people don't like Inferno is actually because, at least in my experience, I've encountered the most cheaters on Inferno in like public lobbies, and
Yeah, that might also be true. I can't confirm nor deny that.
I'm very scared of Premiere Season 3 because I've never played Premiere, and I've promised my friends that when Season 3 drops, I will get a rank, and I know that there's a big cheating problem. So if there's no
You're
VAC,
fine unless you get to like higher elo, I think. Then it's just cheater fest.
jeez, that's the price of, yeah. I guess the price of being good is that the people that fake being good are also there with you.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me take some screenshots and I'll send them to you.
Right.
So yeah, this is the last one, and I actually did this like the day after I got back from holiday, which was the day after I sketched this.
Oh wow, the proportions are completely different from what I thought.
Yeah, I did a lot of changing up on it, and it's, yeah, I did this. I like whipped this together in like 3 hours, I think, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know what this place is. That was the thing that was just, I like having the environmental context, even if I'm not doing an art pass. Like, it's just important that like I design around a place, and I was just I was a bit stumped on that. But yeah, I don't hate it, and I might come back to it. But when I stopped on this, I started working on Hay Fever, and obviously that is going well. So
I think you should definitely keep going with Hay Fever.
Good.
Very
okay.
Interesting to see this in Hammer though. The scale is completely different from what I thought, and the proportions.
Better or just different?
I think better. It feels slightly oversized though. Like there's so much space where I think it's just wasted.
True. I think scale is definitely a big problem with me and maps. You should have seen how big the tractor was when I first made Hay Fever. It was absurd. All right. Thank you for the feedback.
I think out of all the pictures you sent me, all the sketches, 2 is my favorite.
Thank you. That's really cool. I really appreciate the feedback as well. So to wrap up, in the long term, whenever that is, by the sounds of it, probably more than a year, maybe. I want to like call you back and show you whatever the final Diffusal map is, and if I can organize like a playtest with a lot of the people I've interviewed, that would be awesome. Would you be willing to do that, do you think?
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Sounds cool.
And lastly, do you have anything to promote or anything to hype up?
Oh, I'm not sure. My socials, I suppose.
Mhm.
The issue is a lot of the stuff I work on nowadays is tools. Like Redgen, I did some work on Source 2 Viewer. I made the benchmark maps. Recently, I started working on a Source 2 wiki
Oh.
because, as I said, the VDC is not so good.
Mhm.
Dogtown already got in the game, so not much to promote there. I guess just my socials, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to me, and thank you for the time. I
Thank
really
you very much
appreciate
as
it.
well. Great talk.
Yeah, it's been
Always
really nice talking
happy
to
to
you.
see. Always happy to see more people get into mapping.
I'm very happy to be a part of it. It's been really engaging, and I mean, like the fact I got all these interviews really shows like how open armed this community is. It's
Definitely.
it's the mapping community is definitely different than the esports watcher side. I feel like in terms of approachability, and I say that as someone that watches the esports.
Mapping community is very far removed from a lot of the other communities, I would say.
Yeah. But yeah, Angel, thank you so much for your time. I've had a great talk. Thank you. All right.